Hello folks, this is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball guessing game. I'm picking my numbers at a drawing on March 13th, 2023. If you'd like to support my game, Decoding the Powerball, then please go to my Patreon page at www.patreon.com/Decoding the Powerball. Thank you, and please subscribe. Okay, so if you've never seen my videos before, the object of my game is for you to correctly eliminate groups of numbers. There are 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. Only 5 numbers can come up as winners, so that means 64 numbers can't come up at all. So for me, I think it should be easier to pick the numbers that won't be coming up than the 5 that actually do. Okay, with this video, I invite you to grab some paper and play along. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the game card. This is where I try to eliminate the numbers and try to get it down to the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so you can see on my game card I have 5 colors. They are red, orange, green, blue, and purple, and they represent the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is go to the Powerball homepage, find out what those 5 white winning Powerball numbers were, and they were the 11, 20, 33, 43, and 58. The Powerball number was the 24, but right now I'm only concerned about these 5 white ball numbers. Okay, so if you like to play along at home, then you could draw out the game card here on a piece of paper, just like this. And then you could X out the spots that you don't think are going to be coming up. You could X out the numbers you don't think are going to be coming up. Okay, so I put the 5 white winning Powerball numbers at the top of this list, and now I need to put some colors to it like I did here in the past. Okay, so you can see what this game card is for March 11th, 2023, and I need to update to the 13th. But before I do, I need to get the colors for these numbers. Okay, so the 11 was orange, the 20 was blue, the 33 was blue, the 43 was red, and the 58 was red. Okay, so again, the 11 was orange, the 2033 were both blue, and the 4358 were both red. So 3 out of the 5 colors came up, and now I'm going to make this 222 color code drawings I kept track of so far, and now a 3 color combination has now come up 106 times. Okay, so again, you can see that the 3 color combination comes up a lot more than than like the 4 color combination or 5 or 2 or whatever. Okay, so this is what I want you to focus on here. Okay, so if 3 colors come up the most, then that means 2 colors are not coming up the most. Okay, so the strategy of the game here is try to correctly guess what color group will not be coming up and eliminate those numbers off of my game card. Okay, so I need to update this. So I'm going to get rid of all the colors off of my game card here. Okay, so here's my color code right here. Here's the red numbers, the orange, green, blue, and whatever's left over is purple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer these 15 numbers over to my game card as red numbers. Okay, so again, it was the 11, 20, 33, 43, and 58. The next line down was the 26, 27, 43, which is already taken, so the 61 and 69. And the next line down is the 2, the 13, the 29, 58, which is already taken, and the 69, which is already taken. So again, I'm going to make these red numbers. And now I'm going to count how many red numbers I have. So over here I got 3 and 3 are 6, 2 are 8, 2 are 10, and 2 are 12. So up here I'm going to make this 12. And now I'm going to move on to the orange. Okay, so I'm going to transfer these 20 numbers over to the game card as orange numbers. Okay, so I'm going to start in with the 10, the 16, the 18, the 40, and the 66. Next line down is the 2, which is taken, so the 9, the 28, the 36, 53, And the next line down is the 16, 28. Both are taken, so the 49, the 51, and the 55. And the last line is the 11, which is taken, so the 24. The 58 is taken, the 66 is taken, so the 67 is the last orange number. And now I'm going to count how many I have. So I got 3, 3 are 6, 3 are 9, 1's 10, and 4 are 14. So I'm going to leave that 14 right there. Okay? So now I move on to the green, and then the blue, and whatever's left over is purple. But I already did that here, so just to speed things up, I'm just going to copy and paste. Okay, so again, this is the game card for March 13th, 2023. Again, there was 12 red numbers, 14 orange. Turned out to be 17 green, 14 blue, and 12 purple numbers, okay? So why is this important to do this like this, okay? So since I did this color code, since I came up with this, I noticed that I get consistent double-digit numbers per color. Okay, and the thing about, when you have consistency like this, then things can become predictable. Okay, so again, I want to eliminate some colors here. So the first clue I'm going to look for is, what are the majority of the numbers going to be? Are they going to be odd or even? Okay, just a 50-50 guess here. And looking at this, you can see that with this 5 drawings, the majority was odd. So I always like to break things down into 3 or 5 just to give me that majority. So out of this 5, it was odds. Then you can see 1 or 5, 10, 15, 20 drawings here have been the majority of even numbers. And as I'm looking at just the odd numbers here, you can see that it's been very sporadic. Okay, so here's one with 3. But besides that, finally here's one with 4. When we go way deep, I thought I saw, yeah, here's one with 6. Okay, but it's been a long time ago, so I'm thinking that this is good for one more odds, okay? So I think the majority are going to be odd numbers, which means I believe that out of all 69 numbers, I believe that there's only going to be a maximum of 2 even numbers, okay? So I'm going to look at each color and find the one with the most even numbers to it, and then I'm going to eliminate those numbers off of the game card. Okay, so let's take a look at the red first. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 even numbers out of 12, so that's not very good. Okay, and then the orange, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 14. That's not too bad. Okay, and then the green, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 17. That's not very good. Okay, and then the blue, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of 14. That's pretty good. And then purple, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the one that sticks out the most to me is the blue. 9 out of 14 numbers are even numbers, so I'm going to eliminate the blue numbers off of my game card. Okay, so I'm going to block these numbers out, and when I block out numbers like this means I'm not even going to consider these numbers when I'm picking what I think would be the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so the question is, okay, can a blue number come up? Yeah, absolutely it can. Okay, this is where the betting comes in. I'm going to be spending $3 on a Powerball ticket, which includes the power play. So in other words, I'm betting $3 that none of these blue numbers will come up in this drawing tonight. Okay, so if I'm correct and none of these blue numbers come up, then I just reduce the odds for myself by a little bit, giving myself a better chance at winning some kind of prize in the Powerball lottery. Okay, so moving on to my next strategy. It's called the individual numbers. And as you can see with this, I put the 5 white winning Powerball numbers, the 11, 20, 33, 43, and 58. So how I use this is I'm going to scroll across here until I find the 11. And now I'm going to be marking this square orange because the 11 is orange. Okay, so what I did here is I took all 69 numbers and I divided it into 7 different groups. Okay, so let me reduce this down so you can see the whole card. Okay, so here's group number 1 that holds the numbers 1 through 9. Of course, this is the only group with 9 numbers, where the other 6 have 10 numbers to it for 69 numbers. Okay, so dividing it into 7 different groups, how it gives me an advantage is that there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. So I know that 2 of these groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. So the strategy is try to correctly guess what group will not have the winning Powerball number to it and eliminate those numbers off of my game card. Okay, so how this gets used hand in hand with my color code is, let's take a look at these 20 numbers here real quick. Okay, so you can see these 3 red dots. Okay, they represent, numbers. And as you scroll down through, you can see that a red number hasn't come up in a while. Okay, so here it is right here. So as I was doing my videos, I was commenting on this, saying, hey, I haven't seen a red number in a while. I think a red number's due. And finally the 23 came up, and it came up again as a red number. Okay, so this is what I do. I look at this and I say, okay, I haven't seen a certain color in a while. It may be due to come up. Okay, so the one that's sticking out the most right now are these 50 numbers. Okay, so as you look down through, you can see the red, orange, I don't see a green, here's a blue, here's a purple, still no green, and then finally here's a green right down here. Okay, so this big square right here, this is good for 5 drawings. And the reason why I did that is so I could count easier. Okay, so I can look at it and say, okay, a green number hasn't come up in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Exactly 30 drawings so far. Okay, so when's a green number going to be due to come up? Okay, so I'm going to blow this up and look at my game card to see what 50 numbers are in green. Okay, but before I do that, I want to look at this and say, okay, what group of numbers do I feel will not be coming up? Okay, and the one that really sticks out to me is this 10 through 19 numbers here. Okay, and the reason why is because just look how hot these have been compared to like the 40 numbers over here. It's been pretty sparse over here. But here, 10 through 19, you can see that there's been lots of hits going on all the way down to this 5 right here. Okay, so it's been 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. We're going on almost 40 drawings here of these numbers being really hot. So my prediction, my best guess, is that I'm not going to be putting a color here. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate the numbers at 10 through 19 off of my game card. Okay, but before I do that, let me just blow this up. Let me come back here, and then I'm going to be putting a 5 here because they hit, all these numbers hit 5 out of the 7 groups. Okay, so the last drawing hit 3 out of the 7 groups, which means 4 of these groups didn't have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so again, I think that these numbers have been really hot, and what's hot, well, eventually cools down. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the game card. Now the first thing I'm going to do is look for a 50 number that's green, and the only one that I have left is the 54. So maybe this 54 will be coming up tonight. Okay, or if not tonight, a green number I believe will be coming up really soon in the 50 numbers. Okay, so again, I'm going to get rid of the 10 through 19. So I'll get rid of the 10, 11, 13, 16, 17, 18, 19, and hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so again, if I made the correct picks, okay, if I made these 2 correct picks so far, and none of these blocked out numbers come up, then the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers still have to be left here on my game card as a highlighted number. Okay, so moving on to my next strategy. This is called the groups. Okay, this is what I call group 4, and I call it group 4 because I broke all 69 numbers down into 4 different color groups. Okay, I also have a group 6, where I broke things down into 6 different color groups. Okay, so the thing about this group 6 is there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers, so I know that one of these groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. And then I have a group 8, where I know that 3 of these color groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, and I also have a group 10 as well. This is my last grouping, and I know that 5 of these color groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so what's the purpose with all these groups? Well, I just wanted to give myself different angles. Okay, certainly with this group 4, very hard to predict where 0 is going to be. Okay, so let me update this just to give you a visual. Okay, so the 11 came up. So I'm going to put 1 in the red area, and that represents that 11. And then the 20 came up. So I have 1 in the blue. And then the 33 came up as well, so I actually have 2 in the blue. And then I have 1 in the orange, that 43. And then I have 1 in the green, the 58. So all 4 colors got hit. And the majority of the numbers are over here to the left side. So I'm going to color this 4 red. Okay, so if the majority was over here to the right side, I colored this 4 green. Okay, so that gives me some separation. Okay, so when I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, I see lots of green here, when's it going to turn red? Okay, it's kind of like flipping a quarter, you know? It's 50-50. It's either going to be the majority on the left side or the majority on the right side. So, you know, if you're flipping a quarter, it comes up heads 20 times in a row. Well, when's it going to turn tails, you know? So kind of the same thing here. You know, when I see a bunch of green, when's it going to turn red? Okay, so if I could correctly guess when that's going to happen, like if I think this next number is going to be a red number, then the majority of the numbers will be over here on this side, right? And I'll be looking over on this side to pick where I think a 0 is going to be. Okay, so you can see with this orange, you see this 0 here. So 2 drawings ago, none of these orange numbers came up. So if I could correctly guess when that's going to happen, I could eliminate all those numbers off of my game card and give myself a better chance at winning, again, some kind of prize in the Powerball lottery. Okay? Okay, so you can see that I have 2 numbers here at the top, and I only keep track of every 3 drawings like this, and then I'll be putting a color to it. Okay, so the reason why I did that is so I could have a couple of different angles to look at again. Okay, so this is Powerball number 2 here, and I'm going to update this one. And again, it was the 11 in red. And then the 20 was in orange, and the 58 was in orange, so I had 2 in the orange. And then the 33, 43 were in blue, so I had 2 in the blue. So that means I had no winning Powerball numbers in the green area. Okay, and again, this is the strategy, is to try to correctly guess where this 0 is going to be. So again, if I could have correctly guessed that none of these green numbers are going to come up in the last drawing, I could have gave myself a much better chance at, again, winning some kind of prize. Okay, so if I have 3 hits in a row like this, I color this a dark red. And if there's only 2 hits, then I color it a lighter red. Again, just to give me some separation. Okay, so if I have 2 misses or 2 zeros, I color it a light blue. And if I have all 3 zeros, which doesn't happen very often, as you can see. But here's one right here. I color it a dark blue. Okay, so this is something where I'm going to make a pick here. Okay, you can see that in the last 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and another 15 in the last 30 drawings, one of these red numbers have come up. Okay, now these red numbers represent 4, 8, 12, 16, 17, 18 numbers. Okay, so that means there's another 51 numbers out there that could come up, and there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. So how long can this go, you know, with 51 numbers out there representing the blue, orange, and green? How long before this has a 0 to it? Now you can see with the other ones, you know, this kind of, you know, this kind of streak doesn't happen very often. Okay, now can the streak keep on going? Yeah, absolutely it can. But I'm going to bet my $3 that it won't. So I'm going to mark this blue, which means I'm picking that I don't think any of these red numbers come up. Okay, so when I'm updating this game and I look at it and I say, okay, did I get this correct? Did any of these red numbers come up? Or one of these red numbers or 2 came up and burned me? Okay, but for right now, I'm going to say that none of these red numbers are going to come up. So I'm going to get rid of all these red numbers off of my game card. Okay, so the 1, 2, 10, 11, 5, 6, 31, 32, we'll start with that. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 2, the 31, 32. And then I get rid of the 35, 36, 39, 40, 48, 49. And then the 52 to the 54. Kind of like that 54 with that green, but I'm going to go for it. I'm still going to keep this here. So again, the 35, 36, the 39, 40, 48, 49. I will get rid of that 54 and the 61. So I'll get rid of all those numbers, and again, hopefully those numbers do not come up, including that 54. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so I have this all updated, and you can see that I have no numbers at the top. Okay, well, the first one, I have 2 numbers at the top. Okay, so this is the advantage right now. Okay, so I have another one, Powerball number 3, and I'm going to update this one as well, again, just to give you a visual. So the 11 is yellow, and the 58 is yellow, so I got 2 yellow. And then the 20 and the 43, 2 purple, and then the 33 was orange. So I had no winning Powerball numbers in the red area, no winning Powerball numbers in the blue, and no winning Powerball numbers in the green area. So if I could have picked any one of those, that would have been good for me. Okay, so I hit 3 out of the color groups. The majority of the numbers are over here to the right side, so I'm going to keep this 3 green. Okay, so looking at this, you know, it's been really red, which means the majority of the numbers have been over here. And now it's kind of starting to turn green here. You can see that this is a streak of red numbers right here in the middle. I think that this is going to be a green number, which means I believe the majority of the numbers will be over here to the right side. So I'm going to be looking over here to the left side to predict where I think that 0 is going to be. Okay, so the reason why I have three of these is so I could have these staggered. Okay, so here I have one number at the top. With this one, I have no numbers at the top, and with this one, I have two numbers at the top. Okay, so it always gives me at least one of these with the advantage, and the advantage is right here with two numbers at the top, because now I'm going to be putting colors to this. So I get to use this tool over here, which tells me, hey, was there any blue marks? Okay, so here's a blue mark. That's what I'm talking about. And then over here, I have this triple hit, which happens a lot. You see there's a couple of zeros here. But still, the majority of the time, there's a triple hit that comes up. So I have the blue area that has the opportunity for a triple hit, the orange, and the green. Okay, so looking at this, you know, the orange kind of stands out the most. I think the hit's going to be right here. So I think that at least one of these numbers, or maybe even two of them, will be coming up in this drawing. Okay, the 35 to the 51. Okay, so I still have plenty here left. And I want to keep that in mind, okay? So, okay, so coming back here, again, I'm going to mark this, saying that I think one of these, I mark it red for hot and blue for cold, okay? Red for hit, blue for miss. And again, what I'm really trying to do is try to pick where a zero is going to be, okay? So this blue is pretty interesting because I have a single blue, single blue, single blue. And I'm wondering, when is it going to double up like these two, okay? All I need is another zero right here, and I can mark this blue. Okay, which means I believe that none of these blue numbers will be coming up if I pick that. Okay, so I'm not ready to do that just yet. Okay, and I'm going to, you know, kind of breeze through these here, okay? Because they're so hard to pick. If I don't see anything that really stands out, I'm thinking this orange again to have a hit to it. So this kind of stands out to me, the 41, 42, 43, 50, 51. I got the 41, 43, 50, 51. I was kind of thinking another orange number is going to come up, so I kind of, you know, leaning towards this 51 right here. I'll mark this as well. I think there's going to be a hit there. This one's a little bit harder to read, so I'm going to leave it alone. And I have 7 of these option cards, okay? And with all my option cards here, it's kind of looking at this orange for a 0. But I'm not going to take it. So after all my option cards, I have an overview. Okay, so with this orange, all 7 of my option cards in the orange area had a hit to it. Same with the green. The blue had 3 zeros to it. The red had 1, so 4 zeros total. And 2 7 zeros. Okay, so if I could correctly guess where a 7 0 is going to come up, then I'm going to look at this and say, okay, each one of these option cards are going to have a hit to it in that certain color group. Okay, so with this group 4, I use it mainly to pick where I think a hit's going to be, because that's what comes up the most is hits. But if I could correctly guess where a 0 is going to be, that's going to be a big help. Okay, so I'm moving on to group 6. Again, here I have an advantage. With this group 4, I really don't have an advantage except for what's going to come up. Here I know that at least one of these groups cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so I want to try to correctly guess which one that will be. And similarly, I like to see a streak of red. Okay, and over here, well, I never updated this, so I had 1, 2 blue marks. Okay, a triple hit still comes up a lot here in this group 6. Okay, so I'm looking at this and I see a single red, single red, single red. When's this red gonna double up? I'm hoping it's gonna double up now. I think the majority of the numbers will be over. If it's red, I believe the majority of the numbers will be on this side. And I'm kind of looking at this red area. The ones that stick out the most, this is 35, 39, because it's in this grouping right here. Okay, but I don't really see where that 0 is going to be, so I'm going to move on. Okay, so I have 7 of these option cards as well. So this is option card number 2. Looking at this from here to here, I see mostly green, so I have a feeling that this is going to be a red number. Again, I think the majority of the numbers will be over here, kind of liking this orange. There's the 41 and 43 again, the 35 and 39. I'm going to mark that as a hit. I think one of these red numbers will be coming up. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for here. Okay, you see I got 5, 9, 10, 11, 12 red marks in a row, which is kind of highly unusual. Okay, so here's 5, 9, 10. Here's another 10. 10 red marks in a row. And here with this purple, I'm up to 12. Okay, so I have a feeling that this is going to be a 0 here. And I'm kind of liking this yellow that have a hit to it. I think this is going to be a triple hit. So I'm going to get rid of the purple. And there's that 41, 43 again. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the 35 to the 65 and then the 57, 58, 66, 67 off of my game card. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 37, 38, 56, 65, 57, 58, 66, 67. get rid of those numbers, and hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so the 41 and 43 are looking really good to me here. And now I'm going to move on. Okay, so moving on to option card number 4. I never marked that. Okay, certainly this purple kind of stands out for a triple hit. There's the 41, 43, 50, 51 again. Over here I see a big streak of zeros for a 000, and I got two options here. I got the blue and the orange. And looking at this orange, you know, I see a 000 here in the red. See one in the blue, one over here in the green, the purple, the yellow. They all have a 000 except for this orange. This orange has never had a 000. You know, I think it certainly has the opportunity to be one. So I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to get rid of all these orange numbers. The 23 to the 25, the 28 to the 30. So I'll get rid of the 23, 24, 25, 28, 29, 30. And then I'll get rid of the 36. Well, I know that all these numbers are gone. So I'll get rid of the 39, 42, 60. So I'll get rid of the 60 as well. And again, hopefully none of those numbers come up. Okay, so moving on. Option card number 5. Oops. Sorry about that. Okay. So option card number 5, let's see what I got. Okay. I see lots of red over here. So I'm thinking that this is going to be a green number, which means I believe that most of the numbers, the majority of the numbers will be over here. And I'm thinking that this yellow is going to double up with this really dark red. So I got single, 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 and now I'm thinking it's going to double up like right over here, or here, or here. Okay, so I'm thinking that this is going to be a hit. And there's that 41, 43 again. Okay, so I didn't see a 0 there, so okay, so here again I'm looking at all this green over here. I'm thinking that this is going to be a red number, which means I believe the majority of the numbers will be over here. Certainly like this red, but I like this purple as well to have a mist to it because of these 4 red marks. Okay, so I have 4 red marks over here, but besides that, you know, it's usually just 3. So I kind of like the red for a hit and the purple for a miss. There's that 41 again. So I'm going to get rid of these purple numbers. So 39, 40, 48, 49, 58, 59. And all those numbers are gone. And then on the other side, I got the 37, 44, 45, 53, 54, 62. So I get rid of the 44, 45, 62. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so moving on to my last one. Option card number 7. This red one kind of sticks out to have a 0 to it. And I'm looking at all this red over here. I'm thinking that the majority of the numbers will be over here to the left side. And I'm kind of liking this blue. And there's that 43 and the 51. Well, I'm not going to mark that, and I'm going to move on to my next one, which is group 8. Okay, so again, more of an advantage. I got 3 of these option cards, or 3 of these color groups, which I know cannot have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so the thing is that with my group 4, I get to knock out up to 17, 18 numbers. With my group 6, I think I get to knock out, what is it? I got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 numbers. And with my group 8, I get to knock out 4 and 9, 4 and 5 are 9. So I get to knock out 8 or 9 numbers. Here's the blue with only 8. Okay, and then with my group 10, I get to knock out up to 7 numbers. Okay, so I get to knock out less numbers, but I got better odds of doing it. Okay, so here, the first thing I'm going to do is go right to the end so I can look at the overview for all 9 of these option cards. Okay, so I gave myself 9 here because of the advantage that it has. So certainly I'm looking for something like this, a long red streak. Thinking that this is going to be a blue color here, which means I believe the majority will be misses in this blue area. And maybe this red will have a red mark to it, which means the majority will be hits. Okay, so I'm looking at this blue, and I see some red over here. Now here a 000 comes up a lot more than a triple hit. So what do I have for 000s? I got the turquoise and I got the red. So the reason why I kind of like this blue is because I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits in a row here in this row. And when I compare that to the others, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It just doesn't go as deep. Okay, so that's why I kind of like this one with the blue. I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to get rid of the 10 through the 17 off of my game card. And you can see that I have nothing there, so that kind of stinks when that happens. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so over here with the red, see a bunch of zeros. I'm thinking that this is going to be a hit. So the 1 to the 62 plus the 18, is there anything left? I got the 27. Okay, so moving on. I don't see anything where I want to eliminate numbers. Again, a 000 comes up a lot. So I got the purple and I got the turquoise. I see a lot of green through here, so I'm thinking that this is going to be a red number. Kind of like the orange and the green. Okay, so this is not a big help, so I'm gonna move on. Okay, so for a 000 opportunity, I got the red, yellow, turquoise. Now with this yellow, you see a 000 right here. With the red, the 000. This turquoise, the 000 is way down here. Doesn't come up very often. I'm thinking I like this one to finally have a 000 again, so I'm going to mark this one. And I'm going to get rid of the 6, 8, 14, 16. So I'll get rid of the 8. And then I get rid of the 36, 38, 44, 46, 52. And you can see that there's no numbers left. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so I have a 000 opportunity here in the yellow and one in the red. Here I see a bunch of red, and I'm thinking that this number is going to be a green number, which means I believe the majority of the numbers will be over here on this side. So I'm kind of liking this red to have a 000 here. And I'll get rid of the 7 and the 9. I'll mark this. Okay, so moving on. I got one 000, the purple, and the 000 hasn't come up in a while. You can see I don't see any real dark reds except for right down here, so I'm thinking that this is going to be a red number. I'm kind of liking this green. Yeah, there's the 41, 43, 51 again. So I'm going to get rid of the purple. The 3, 4, 12, 13. I don't believe there's any numbers over here. So I'll get rid of the 3, and hopefully that number does not come up. Okay, so I'm getting down there. I got 3, 2 are 5, 3 are 8, 2 are 10, 4 or 14. So I'll get down there. I need to get down to 5. So I got 3 more option cards here. Again, what do I have for a 000 opportunity? I got the blue, the orange, and the purple. No, and the turquoise. 000 for the turquoise is way down there. So I'm going to go with this turquoise. So I'll get rid of the 1022. Okay, I got no numbers to get rid of on the left side, so I got the 42, 48, 60, 66. And no numbers to get rid of. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so what do I have for a 000? I got the blue, the yellow, and the pink. Triple zero is way down here on the pink, so I'm going to go with that. I don't believe that there's any numbers left, so I'm going to move on. My last option card. Again, for a 000, I got the red, orange, and that's it. Kind of liking this 000. I'm thinking that this is going to be a green number. So go with the orange, the 14, 32, 34. I'll get rid of the 34. And then the 36, 44, 52, and the 48, 66, 68. And I'll get rid of the 68. And hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so I'm getting down to 12 numbers here. I just ran out of group 8. So now I'm going to go to group 10. Okay, so I just want to say, let me bring this back to group 8 here, is I know that 3 of these color groups can have a winning Powerball number to it, but I only like to pick at 1, okay? And I feel that, hey, if I could get this one correct, if I try for a second one, I feel that the odds just go way, way up, and I'm most likely going to get it wrong, okay? So with this group 10, I don't mind picking 2 of these, because I know that 5 of them are going to have a 0 to it. You can see all these 4, so usually there's like 6 of these color groups that don't have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so a 000 comes up a lot. So here's 1 0 out of all these drawings. Okay, so a 000, I got the red, I got the brown, and I got the light blue. And I look for one that hasn't come up in a while. Okay, either that or I look for a wicked red streak. Okay, so I don't really see anything here, so I'm going to move on. Then I got the red, the yellow, brown, and light blue. The brown, the 000 hasn't been here in a while. So if you look at all the other color groups, you know, the 000s are pretty close to the top. So when I see one that's lagging behind, well, maybe it's due to come up. So I'm going to go with this brown. And I'm going to go with the 4, 8, 38, 44, 42, 60, 66. And I'm pretty sure that all those numbers are gone. They are. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so our 000 I got here in the purple, the yellow, the brown, and the light blue. And look at this yellow. I haven't seen a 000 in a long time. So I'm going to go with this one. 2624. Nada. Then I got the 3840, 5666. And again, nothing there. So I'm going to go to the overview. And again, I look for the 03. And again, I look for the one that hasn't come up in a while. It's looking like the blue and the orange. Now over here with this light blue, all these 03s, I'm thinking that this is going to be a red. So I'm going to look at the light blue to kind of pick where I think hit's going to be here. Okay, so there's that 51 again. These are all even numbers, and I believe that they're all gone. So again, I'm looking at the light blue. There's that 4151 again. Alright, so I exhausted all my ones with the best advantage with 2 hits on the top. So now I'm going to go to the one with the second best advantage. That's Powerball number 2, where number 3, I mean, where at least I have one number at the top to give me some kind of clue. Okay, so I'm going to start with Group 3A, which is a 10 group, color group, which again gives me really good odds. And I'm looking for a 0 at the top and possibly a 000. There's never been one here in a turquoise, so I kind of like this one. Or just about all the other color groups has had a 000 to it. Except for this turquoise. So I'm hoping that it's due. Oh, that would take away that 51 though. Well, I'm going to go for it. So I'll get rid of the 51. Okay, the 3755 and the 313. Get rid of that 55. And again, hopefully those numbers do not come up. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm down to 10 numbers. Okay, so this is why I believe in this game, is because one time, out of all the times that I played it, I reduced the numbers down to 10 just like this, and the 5 correct winning Powerball numbers landed within these 10 numbers. Now, I only got 2 numbers correct that day, but I looked at it and said, wow, you know, I gave myself a much better chance of winning a really good prize. I mean, would you rather pick from 10 numbers or all 69 numbers? Okay, so moving on. Option card number 2 out of 3. Again, I'm looking for a 000 that hasn't come up in a while. I don't really see one. So I'm going to move on. Okay, number 3. Again, I'm not really seeing much. Let me check out the overview. Again, I'm looking for a 03 that hasn't come up in a while, like this green. It looks like this brown is a little bit better. I'm going to go with the brown. Well, I kind of like that 27. I still have it in play. Okay, there's that 41. I don't want to get rid of that. I like that one. Okay, so I don't really like any of them, so I'm going to move on to Group 3B. Again, I have another 3 of these option cards. And again, I'm looking for a 0 at the top and a 000 that hasn't come up in a long time. Okay, I really don't see anything. Moving on. You know, and this is why I gave myself so many option cards like this, is so I could cherry pick through these things and give myself the best opportunity here. Okay? Again, I really don't see anything. Okay, let's take a look at the overview. See if anything sticks out. Okay, 000, 000. Or I should say 03, 03, 03. Maybe this purple. Kind of don't mind this purple here. Okay, so the 9, 19, 29. And then the 69, 37, 63. Okay, so I'll get rid of the 63 and the 69. Which hopefully those numbers do not come up. Okay, so I got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers left. I need to get down to 5. Okay, so moving on. Again, I'm not really seeing anything. Okay, so I'll look for the overview. 03, 03, 03. We're all pretty much to the top. Okay, so not much here. I'm moving on. 3C. My last one. Okay, I'm looking at this brown. It's never had a 000, where all the other color groups have had a 000 to it. So kind of liking this brown. The 6, 15, 24. Do I have anything left? Don't have anything left. Okay, so moving on. Not really seeing anything. Moving on. Well, here's one with the yellow. Nothing there anyways. Okay, so I'm going to look at the overview. Okay, well the 03 is way down here in the red. Let's take a look at that red real quick. Okay, so moving on here. And there's nothing there. Okay, so I got some group sixes here. And again, a triple hit comes up a lot more than a triple zero. So I'm kind of liking this purple to have a triple hit. And again, there's that 41, 43. Okay, well here's something that I look for. Okay, I'll just follow this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 streak in a row. And again, that just doesn't happen all that much. So I'm going to go with this blue for 0 to it. And it's the 12 to the 23. So I'll get rid of the 20, 21. And that will bring me down to 6 numbers here. Okay, so I got to get rid of one more. Okay, so that's all I got. So I'm going to move on to 6B, my last one. With at least one number to the top. Kind of liking this red over here. Okay, don't really see anything. Okay, moving on. Alright, so I'm going to go to Powerball number 2. I'm going to go to my group 10 where I had the best odds. And I'm going to go right to the overview and look for that 03. For a 03 that hasn't come up in a while. So here's the red, blue. Here's an orange that hasn't come up in a while. And a pink. Orange and pink. This pink will get rid of the 27. I like that 27. I like this orange in here. I'll get rid of the 26 and the 33. I can't do that. Can't get rid of both of them. I got one more to take a look at. Take a look at it. Okay, so if I go with the pink, I'll get rid of that 43, which I like. And if I get rid of the orange, I get rid of the 33. The 43, if I pick that, that will come up 3 times in a row. It certainly can happen. But I guess I'm going to bet my $3 that it won't. So I'm going to get rid of the 43. So I'm going to go with the 26, 27. That just happened a little bit ago here. Right here, 26, 27. Go with the 33. The 41 and the 50. So that'll be a 2-color combination, which kind of just came up. Doesn't come up all that often, but I guess we'll see. Okay, so now to pick out a Powerball number. Okay, so I do have something for that. Powerball number right here. Okay, so in the last drawing, it was the 24 that came up. Okay, so the 24 came up. I'm going to mark this red. Okay, so on this side, well, first I have to tell you that there's only 26 numbers, red numbers in the Powerball lottery. So I just divided these numbers into 2. Okay, so if you see a blue number, that's low, 1 to 13. If you see a red number, that's high, 14 to 26. Okay, so with this was, the majority was low. 3 drawings to 2. So I'm going to mark this blue. And then over here, the majority was even numbers. Five drawings to 0. Okay, so looking at this, I think that this is going to be a high number. So 14 to 26. And over here, I have a feeling it's going to be an odd number. So I'm going to look for an odd number that hasn't come up in a while. Okay, so I think it's going to be high, so I think it's going to be either 15, 17, 19, 21, 23, or 25. So here's the 23, here's the 15. Here's the 17, the 25, the 19, and the 21. I believe that's all of them. Okay, so the 21 is the oldest. But just by one drawing with that 19 here. Okay, I don't know, since the 20 number has just come up, I'm going to say that it's going to be a teen number. I'm going to go with that 19. Okay, so again, the numbers I'm going to go with are the 26, 27, 33, 41, 50, and the Powerball 19. Okay, so as like Sherlock Holmes would say, it's a matter of deduction. So if these blocked out numbers don't come up, then these 5 highlighted numbers have to come up. Okay, so let's go over the odds real quick. The odds, getting all 5 white balls correct and the red ball, the grand prize, which is worth 52 million right now. The odds of winning it are 1 in 292 million. My game is geared up for the white ball numbers, so just to get the 5 white ball numbers correct, the odds are 1 in 11,688,000. Okay, so in other words, you can make nearly 12 million 5-number combinations out of 69 numbers. Okay, so I don't want to give any kind of illusions that this is going to be easy to win. Another great prize to win would be 4 white ball numbers and a red ball that pays 50,000 plus the power play if you play it, and you can see the odds are just about 1 in a million. Okay, so a budget. Yeah, I like to play responsibly. It's $3 per drawing. There's 3 drawings per week, so if I play every drawing throughout the year, I'm going to spend $468 on my game Decoding the Powerball. Okay, and in closing, I just want to thank you for watching. Again, you can support my game through my Patreon page at patreon.com/decoding the Powerball. And if you'd like to give me any feedback, then please email me at decodingpowerball@gmail.com. Again, there's no "the" in there, so it's just decodingpowerball@gmail.com. And as always, with $52 million on the line, I want to wish you the best of luck with your picks.